far away from America, Dubai may seem like a strange place for Chevrolet to launch its 2019 Corvette ZR1, but using a city whose mantra is impossible is just an opinion, as a launchpad for the most powerful Corvette ever actually feels completely natural once you're here on the ground. GM may have chosen to reveal the ZR1 at a studio soundstage on Sunday, but its real coming out party will be at the Dubai Motor Show on Tuesday, where it will sit shoulder to shoulder with 6- and 7-figure luxury sedans, SUVs and hypercars. Based on the 7th-generation Corvette, this is only the 4th-generation ZR1, and it features a number of key innovations that help make it the most powerful production Corvette ever. General Motors isn't releasing all of its performance stats just yet, but we do know some tasty tidbits, namely 755 horsepower and 715 pound-feet of torque in a package that weighs 3,650 pounds. Chevy officials promise that the ZR1 will do better than 210 miles per hour, and with 105 more horses and 65 pound-feet more torque, it's not unreasonable to suspect that it will be quicker to 60 miles per hour than 2.95 seconds. GM's official time for the Corvette Z06. For added perspective, 715 is roughly 2/3 more horsepower than the 455 in the base Stingray. The ZR1 isn't just a case of cranking up the boost on the Z06's 6.2-liter V8. On the contrary, the powertrain has been comprehensively reworked from its air and fuel delivery systems on through its exhaust, with the goal of creating more power up and down the rev range. Despite being conservatively spec'd, Corvette chief engineer Taj Jukter says, "After you drive this car for a while, a Z06 feels really sluggish, like it can barely get out of its own way." He only sounds like he's half joking when he says that to us assembled journos. Not only have significant upgrades in breathing capacity necessitated major changes to the ZR1's front end, aero changes have been carried throughout the bodywork, all the way to the rear end. You'll hear a lot of that word in this story, necessitated. As it turns out, when building an envelope-pushing supercar, solving one problem often creates another technical challenge to be surmounted. As you can see from these images, the ZR1's resulting bodywork is incredibly aggressive, from a completely unique front clip featuring markedly bigger air inlets and front splitter that incorporates a Corvette first underwing, to a massive, high-set rear airfoil that's part of an option package. Let's go back to the aerodynamics for a moment, because if you're like me, you can't stop staring at that wing. It's actually part of an option ZTK performance package, which incorporates a unique front splitter with tall carbon fiber end caps, as well as specific chassis and magnetic ride control calibrations and Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 summer rubber. The wing itself was co-developed with Corvette Motorsports partners Pratt & Miller, and its angle of attack is manually adjustable up to 5 degrees. Those tall stanchions bolt directly to the chassis for maximum effect, and the wing itself can deliver upwards of 950 pounds of downforce at speed, yet it actually creates less drag than the wicker bill fencing on the Z06's wing. The uprights are actually so tall that Jukter says the rear wing clears the rear window so that you can still see out back, and cargo room avoids taking the hit that an active wings mechanism might necessitate. The Corvette Z06 sounds plenty snarly, but the new ZR1 promises to go a step further. It still has the former's active clapper valves to sound more socially acceptable around town, but new internal passive valves help build sound more progressively, so it's not an all-or-nothing auditory experience. It's brutal when you're in track mode and you're revving on it, Jukter says. No word yet on price, but it won't be cheap. The C6 ZR1 was about $110,000, and this one should be priced appropriately for a model that will likely only see 2,000 or 3,000 examples built per year. Despite repeated pestering, company officials still won't talk about the much-rumored mid-engined Corvette that's still in the pipeline. But the 2019 ZR1 that hits dealers in spring not only looks good enough to be more than just a placeholder until that car arrives, it looks like formidable competition for both track day and valet stand owners, even here in Dubai.